The courtroom buzzed with murmurs as Marcus James walked through the heavy doors alone, clutching a thin folder of papers. At 34, he was lean and poised, his tailored suit sharp but understated. Unlike most defendants or plaintiffs in high-stakes cases, Marcus had chosen to represent himself, pro se, without an attorney. The opposition lawyer, a smug man named Daniel Reed, was quick to seize the opportunity. As the hearing began, Reed wasted no time in belittling Marcus. "So, Mr. James," Reed began with a condescending smile, "you've decided to take on this complex legal matter all by yourself? Are you sure you understand what you're doing? Because law is a complicated beast, even for seasoned professionals." A few chuckles escaped from the gallery. The judge, Judge Morrison, looked on with mild curiosity. Marcus met Reed's gaze evenly. "I am confident, Your Honor. I have prepared thoroughly and believe I can adequately present my case." Reed scoffed, clearly dismissive. "Confidence isn't enough when you're dealing with contracts and statutory interpretations. This isn't a DIY project." Marcus remained calm, unshaken by the lawyer's attempt to undermine him. The case involved a breach of contract dispute with a local business, a situation where Marcus's company had been wrongfully deprived of a significant shipment of materials, threatening his livelihood. Reed's client, a larger corporation, had used complex legal jargon and obscure clauses to justify withholding payment and refusing to deliver the goods. From the outset, Marcus knew he was fighting an uphill battle. But armed with his own research and a steely resolve, he was ready. The trial began with Reed presenting his arguments in a polished, rehearsed manner, emphasizing the supposed legal technicalities that favored his client. Marcus listened carefully, taking notes. When it was his turn, he stood and delivered his arguments with clarity and precision, citing relevant statutes, case law, and contract principles with the confidence of someone who had spent countless hours studying the law. "You will see," Marcus said firmly, "that the contract's language does not support the defendant's interpretation, and their refusal to deliver the materials constitutes a clear breach." Judge Morrison raised an eyebrow, impressed by Marcus's thoroughness. As the trial proceeded, Marcus cross-examined witnesses, identifying inconsistencies and gently exposing gaps in the opposition's case. His legal knowledge was undeniable. Reed's demeanor shifted, his condescension replaced by frustration. He tried repeatedly to trip Marcus up with legal jargon and procedural objections. But Marcus was prepared for every move. At one point, Reed sneered, "You might know the book, but you don't know how the courtroom works." Marcus responded with a calm smile. "Respectfully, knowledge of the law and courtroom procedure are the foundation of effective representation. I am doing both." By the time closing arguments came around, the courtroom's atmosphere had changed. Jurors and spectators alike were attentive, no longer dismissive. Marcus's closing statement was a powerful blend of legal reasoning and personal testimony. "Your Honor, members of the jury, this case is not just about contracts, it's about fairness and accountability. A contract is a promise, and when broken, the law demands remedy. The facts, the evidence, and the law all show that the defendant breached their promise, and justice requires that they be held responsible." The judge nodded thoughtfully, and the jury deliberated. After a tense wait, the verdict came back in Marcus's favor. The courtroom erupted in quiet applause. Marcus's victory was a testament not only to his case's merits, but to his determination to fight for himself, despite the skepticism he faced. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed Marcus, eager to hear from the man who had beaten a seasoned lawyer without legal representation. "How did you manage to succeed without a lawyer?" one asked. Marcus smiled, tired but triumphant. "I did my homework, stayed focused, and believed in the truth of my case. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself and not let others tell you what you can or cannot do." His story spread, inspiring others facing daunting legal battles. Marcus James had proved that courage, preparation, and conviction could overcome prejudice and condescension, even in the complex arena of the law.